by Birth, Section 1. Life begins at conception. Number 1. Solving for the unknown. Birth is the spark of life that occurs at the beginning of life. Birth is the first moment of life. Everything in this discussion deals with that mathematical concept. Birth is conception. It is the precise moment in time when a cell becomes imbued with life and begins to grow. It is not important how this happens, it is only important to note that it does happen. Solving for afterlife is a matter of looking at what we have and solving for what is missing. Shown here is a life, what we know, and what we do not know. Put yourself in place of the person in the illustration. Here we have a life located in between birth and death on a timeline. From our position between birth and death, we can see the output side of birth and we can see the input side of death. What we cannot see is the output side of death. This lies outside our view. From our perspective between birth and death, we cannot see this. Our problem is to solve for the output side of death. The output side of death is the unknown quantity. Proof of afterlife by birth will show what lies on the other side of death. I want to step away from the physical being and think about just life. I'm not talking about the manifestation of life. I'm talking about life itself. At conception, there is a change in life that has taken place. This change is from not having life to having life. A moment before this change, there was no life. A moment after this change, there is life. This change took place in a single moment in time. Life began at a moment in time. Conception was not something that took place over a duration of time. Conception was a spark. It was a quantum change from nothing to life that took place in an instant. In computer parlance, life went from 0 to 1. It went from off to on. This transition took place in a moment. Conception is the event that takes place at a moment in time when life begins. Part 3. Life described in geometric terms. To be able to solve for afterlife, we have to define life first. A firm understanding of life is a requirement. To quantify life, I would like to consider the geometrical definition of a point. 1. A geometric point has no height, no width, and no depth. 2. A geometric point has no dimension. 3. A geometric point exists. 4. A geometric point has position within the universe. You cannot see a point, you cannot measure a point has no dimension, yet it exists. It has position. A point exists at a location in the universe. It exists within space. Now consider life. Life has the exact same properties as a geometric point. 1. Life has no height, no width, or no depth. 2. Life has no physical dimension. 3. Yet life exists. 4. Life emanates from a location within the universe. 5. Life has position in both time and space. You cannot measure life because it has no dimension, yet life exists. Life has position in both time and space. It emanates from a location. We see the manifestation of life. We know it exists. The properties of a geometric point and life are identical. Section 1, Part 4. The moment when life begins. Look at this diagram. Look at the spark of life, the specific point in time and space where life begins. Before that moment, on the left side of the plane, there was no life. After that moment, on the right side of the plane, there is life. Life can be traced back to one point in time and space where our life began. In geometric terms, life began at a specific moment in time and a specific moment in space. Life began at a location within time and space, then moved forward in time and through space from that point. Life did not come into being as a buildup over time. Life came into being as a spark. One moment life was not there, the next moment it was. Looking at conception in geometric terms, life exists as a point within time and space. This geometry sets the stage for the illustrations that follow. This concludes Proof of Birth, Section 1. The important points are: 1. Life originates from a point in time and space. 2. Before that point in time there was no life. 3. After that point in time there is life. You may now proceed to Section 2.